never don't let we can falter in the battle. We're tried and true. Indiana, Indiana, we're all.
Welcome, everybody, to the Indiana Basketball Show on the Grueling True Sports Network. I'm your co-host, Mike Goodpaster. And, of course, we always have my lovely, he's like my Vanna White, 1981 national champion, Steve Risley. And we are breaking down everybody that could possibly be in consideration to be the head coach at Indiana University, Steve. And today, we're going to look at a lot of people's favorites, Chris Beard.
Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe you'd have something to add, Steve.
Oh, Chris Beard. Yeah, I mean, Chris obviously is a very strong candidate basketball-wise. I mean, he's had great success at Little Rock, at Texas Tech, and then at Ole Miss. He's won everywhere. He's never had a losing season as a head basketball coach in college basketball. He's put all but I think maybe three of his teams in the NCAA tournament in his 10 years coaching career. He's amassed what's his coaching record? He's amassed 210 wins career overall, 210.92 for a 695 clip. Winning coach. Been to the tournament 6 times already in his young career. Produced some really good teams, coaching in the Big 12, and then in the SEC, which I know is your preeminent basketball.
Well, no, it is the preeminent basketball.
Well, conference. You know, my opinions are like rear ends. Everybody's got
really
one, and they're all shitty.
Steve, it's not an opinion.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Yeah. So, I mean, Chris is basketball-wise, he's probably the most successful qualified coach that we've talked about so far, maybe talk about through our whole scouring of potential candidates for the program. Now, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you because I know you're a man of God, a man of faith.
Geez.
And
you're not.
You believe, well, I live in Hollywood, so crap happens out here all the time and people get away with it and they just put it off to making a movie. So, a little different attitude on that stuff out here. And I'm being facetious, people. Do not write letters or text thinking I agree with what Chris Beard has done personally in his life. But I'm going to turn that over to you, Mike, and let you handle why he would not be a good candidate for an IU.
All right, I am not going to do that. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to read court reports, and that is it. All right? It's because when anybody mentions Chris Beard's name, the discussion begins whether he should be considered because of a felony arrest in Austin for attacking his, at the time, fiance, Randy True, who was living with him at his home. Now, the brushback by those that really want him to be the coach of Indiana is always, didn't she say he didn't do it? Now, the technical answer to this is no, unless this refers specifically
Mike,
to
the technical answer is money is a wonderful thing.
To the semantics of the charge is, if he didn't do it, references physically abusing True that night. That's not what she said that night. When True spoke with police, she accused him of it. This is what police confirmed. She had a bite mark on her right forearm, a cut on her right eyebrow, a cut on her temple, a scrape on her left leg, and a cut on her left thumb. That comes from the police report. Physical abuse was easily observable, the officer said, and there was no one that could deny that she had been physically abused. True told police at that time that Beard had choked me, threw me off the bed, bit me, bruises all over my leg, throwing me around and going nuts. She said she couldn't breathe at times. From the statement, the bite mark and leg injury are undeniable. And that's from the police report, and that's from what the police said. The physical evidence was there to show she wasn't lying if he would have said he didn't do it. but there are other injuries support the account of being thrown around also. The affidavit describes True physically motioning and explaining Beard laying his arms across her neck from behind, causing her to not be able to breathe for probably like 5 seconds after he allegedly attacked her after slapping the glasses off of her face. Beard told officers he had a recording on his phone that would prove he was not the primary aggressor. However, when the officers asked him to share the recording with police to help clear his name, Beard refused. The specific charge Beard faced was assault by strangulation, suffocation, family violence, which is a third-degree felony that comes with 2 to 10 years in prison if convicted. This is where the loophole that saved Beard was created, because Beard allegedly used his forearm from behind as opposed to applying pressure under his fingers and hands from the front. The typical bruising that also forms from an attempted strangulation was not immediately present when the officer spoke with True. With this being the one part of her statement that didn't have undeniable evidence, and the charges being written in a way that required unquestionable proof that strangulation took place. Her denial that took place is all that he would need to kill the charges. So, nearly 2 weeks after the incident, the University of Texas, in the midst of an investigation as to whether Beard should be fired from a contract paying him more than $5 million a year, True recanted her statement, claiming Beard had not choked her. It wasn't a denial that any other part of the claim wasn't true, Steve. There was too much evidence for such a statement like that to hold up. However, by denying the choking, prosecutors no longer had a case, as their star witness would simply not comply with being on the stand. If that didn't happen, none of the other evidence would even matter when the charge was strangulation. So that is everything I've got out of reading the court case, and I spent a lot of time looking into this morning.
Was he charged or convicted of anything?
He couldn't be because she decided that he didn't do it.
So he's innocent?
She said,
case closed, move on. Next case. Bring the drunk driver in.
All right. So this is the thing, though, Steve. Are you all right with a dude that beats a woman up? Because she had bite marks on her. She had bruises on her. It was just the fact that she said that she wouldn't testify against him, which was why they dropped it. It was supposed to be strangulation, and it did look like the strangulation part was a lie. So, I don't know.
Mike, it's a very tough call, and I such mixed emotions on it, and I don't care whether IU takes him or not. If he's got baggage, the last thing IU needs right now is more baggage. We just don't need it in our program. We gotta reshape a culture with this program.
We got our own damn baggage now.
We got our own damn baggage we got to deal with. We don't need to bring on more baggage. But if he's innocent, he's innocent. If you didn't press charges, and we can speculate as to whether it's accurate or not.
No, this is not speculation. From everything I saw from the police, he did not strangle her.
He's probably beat the shit out of her because he was pissed off about something. And it probably happened. She probably took a step back and realized financially what they were giving up and how this may damage her livelihood and everything. I can't, it's all speculation because I was not even remotely involved in this when it all had transpired or happened, or even really following it to that degree. As I said, if there are other candidates at least as good, then it is a red flag for me. If he turns out to be the best basketball coach and everybody else, the powers that be that make the decisions can live with it, but I just, that's the kind of crap I think in my life that if you do it once, you're very capable of doing it again.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think, if you're going to do it once and you got away with it, you're just likely to be stupid enough to do it again. And because you have that anger gene in your body. So for me personally, having spent my 35, 40 years plus tied to that program, I don't really want that kind of baggage on my program.
All right, real quick,
I
Jeff
think there are
Gregory.
other people, there are other players or coaches out there that can deliver what Chris Beard can deliver, that Indiana's not in a position right now that they can withstand another night like that at IU and have to live with it. Then we look desperate. We are desperate.
All right,
But yet
Jeff
we look
Gregory.
desperate.
Jeff Gregory says this is what vetting is for. Talk to Beard, talk to True, talk to others. Ole Miss is not Podunk State. They're in the
Right.
SEC. They're in the SEC. The SEC doesn't care. The only
Don't
SEC
say
basketball.
that. That's not true, Mike. Come
Okay, it's not. You're right. I mean, from the history of
They give a damn.
Alabama and the cheating at every school in the SEC, I don't think they do care, Steve.
Well,
It's
cheating
the
is one
SEC.
thing. Beating up your wife is another thing.
I think they're both pretty bad.
I think they're both terrible. Well, cheating
But the
doesn't
beating up
exist
your wife
anymore.
is worse. But
Cheating,
I
as
will.
we know, it doesn't
But we
exist.
also know we live in a world where you'll do. Most people will do whatever it takes to get the end result that they want.
Well,
Obviously,
welcome to the world, Mike.
put it
Are
like
you
this.
watching
Obviously,
Doge?
they were satisfied. But I'll tell you this: Texas probably would have kept him if they were in the SEC back then. But Texas was in the Big 12 back then, and they got rid of him immediately. And I would say this, and this is to Jeff, and this is Indiana University. There's a lot of very good candidates. Do you want a guy that you have to vet because you think he might beat his wife?
You should
Or
vet
beat his
everybody.
girlfriend?
They should vet everybody.
I know, but you're not going to go in with Ben McCollum or Dusty May to find out if he was beaten up on a woman. I mean,
You don't know what you're going to uncover.
there's an issue here. I know, but you're probably not going to uncover that because you get arrested usually for that unless somebody covered it up. Then you're probably not going to pull it out when you're vetting. But I think Chris Beard is a very good basketball coach. I think this is a huge red flag. If you find now, if he is by far, hands down, the best candidate out there, as Jeff said,
how can you say that?
vet it.
Mike, you're either against him coming to Indiana or you're going to let it go and shut up talking about it.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You can't say if he's the best coach, we'll accept it.
No, I'm saying if he's the best coach, you then vet it to see if you want that risk or not. Because let's face it, that risk is not mine and it's not yours. Huh?
Sounds to me like you just vetted him.
I vetted him good enough that honestly, I would pass.
Okay, I'm kind of in your camp.
And the other thing is,
thank you very much. You're a great coach. You stay at Ole Miss.
And the other thing that worries the hell out of me is when you look at the history of Dusty May, there's a lot of Bob Knight there. I love Bob Knight. You love Bob Knight. We all love Bob Knight. But
there were days I love Bob Knight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like anything else. There's days you love me, Steve, and other days you wonder why you deal with me, right?
Mike, I always love you. You know that.
That's sad, Steve. But
well, first off, let me go over about Coach Beard. He's a defensive-minded basketball coach. He believes in hardcore defense. He believes in blocking out and taking the middle away from teams defensively. He understands that the game is played now with perimeter shooting. So not only does he believe in his philosophy of blocking up the middle, he likes for his guards to play aggressive point perimeter defense. How much have we been screaming about that for Indiana all year long for the last 2, 3, 4 years? We don't play perimeter defense at all, and we're soft on the inside. If we got a coach whose primary focus, when he introduces himself, he says he introduces himself as a defensive coach, and his main focus, again, is to plug the middle, clog it up, and to take away the three-point shot and be aggressive outside. He likes to not let anything be easy for the other team's offense, pressure him coming up court, and things of that nature. Offensively, what I've gathered and preened from him is he's not a coach who believes in a lot of set plays. He believes in you take the talent and you let the talent free form. You put structure into place. You keep spacing. Again, running back more toward a little motion offense with the modern variation of it, utilizing the athleticism that we didn't utilize on motion in 81. We relied more on just heavy screening. This is more ball cutting with his offense, getting players in the right place. Get your shooters in shooting position. Get your bigs on the post and work it that way and let people go at it and use their skill sets from there. He's not very offensive set minded. So that's pretty much the coaching style that I got out of it. You see anything different in your breakdown of his coaching style?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a good basketball coach.
Yeah, I
There's
think
no doubt
basketball
about
coach, like
that.
his philosophy is good.
Michael Houghton from the IU Red Chair Group, go check it out on Facebook, says, I agree with Steve. No
Yeah.
beard baggage needed. Need a cut young candidate, Jeff Gregory. Since I think after looking at all the hires since tonight, I am not sure IU could do better. Let's not count our chickens. Well, with the way they've done, they probably can't land Chris Beard either then. And yes, Robert brings up something I saw today, which really scared the hell out of me about Beard. Was Robert and I saw the same article where Pitino said Beard would be the perfect pick for IU.
Well,
Hold on, we got Jeff responding to Robert.
Well,
that's
here's
not
my
sweet.
thought on Pitino. 10 years ago, I would have shot Pitino in the cojones just for being a dumbass.
No, he's a scumbag.
A scumbag. Today, you know what? He's accepted by the college coaching world.
He's always been accepted because he wins.
If he can come in here for a couple of years at 70.
Oh, stop it, Steve.
And no, I'm
Don't sell your soul.
I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying you can't tell me Chris Beard's going to be okay and Pitino's not going to be okay. And so
yeah, I can.
You just get this thing now. What Portals and Nil Money have done.
Hey, Rick Pitino has a long history of doing stuff. Chris Beard's got the one
because he's been a coach for a long period of time.
No, it's because he's been an absolute scumbag his entire life,
which
is
a scumbag coach for a long period of
time. If you coach in Kentucky, you're a scumbag. Even though I do like Mark Pope, but
I don't want Rick Pitino to come to Indiana either. But I got to hold Rick Pitino and Chris Beard in the same boat. I don't really want either one of them. I don't think they're right for our program. I think we have the ability to maintain our integrity with our basketball program. Woodson didn't cheat because there was no opportunity to cheat because you can't.
If he would have cheated, he'd have screwed it up anyways.
No, he wouldn't have.
Yeah, he would have.
I don't think he would have.
Oh, you think Mike Woodson would have been a good cheater?
No, I don't think he needed to cheat. He came into the game when there was no cheating.
No, Mike Woodson needed to cheat big time because we can't win basketball games right now. So something needed to be done.
He needed to get assistant coaches on his staff that could help him coach a college basketball team.
Well, actually, he just needed
to
coach
right now, I would eliminate Chris Beard from consideration for Indiana just because I think the baggage is there. It's not proven that he's guilty. His wife dropped the charges.
Girlfriend, fiance at the time.
This is a country still, despite what the Democrats want you to believe, that you are innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Nobody proved him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. However, that being said, evidence is overwhelming. It's like, do you really think OJ is still searching for the killer?
No, he's dead.
He's dead. But was he up to that point? Was he looking for the killers of his wife?
I'm sure he was. Somebody needed to find that killer because
he needed to shave and take a look in the mirror every morning, and he found him. Anyway, wait
a second. Wait a second, Steve. He was found not guilty, but yet you're still going to incriminate him on your own.
And he became beloved once again.
No, he didn't. But he was beloved at one point. There's Balin.
Anyway, the point is, I think that there are going to be more viable solutions to the culture of Indiana than Chris Beard. I think he's a great basketball coach. I think he's a coach that can probably. But then we thought that about Archie Miller. We thought that about Tom Crean. We thought that about Mike Woodson.
I never thought that about Mike Woodson.
Well, okay, I did.
I fought you guys for 4 years. You and that little midget troll from Florida.
I thought Mike would do a better job of staffing his team, that he would get the help he needed to coach that team, and Mike would be a good front man for that basketball team and a great leader and representative. It didn't pan out that way. Unfortunately for Mike, it didn't.
All right, Brian Wetter says, my preference is a very young coach like Robert Montgomery Knight in 1971. I think
I'll find that guy, sure.
All right, this is the problem, Brian. I think we all need to just not even say Bobby
all you guys to say that, sure. Go find me Bob Knight and let's pay him all the money in China. I think that Dawson would do that in a heartbeat. But finding another Bob Knight is, Jesus, he's one of a kind.
Yeah, thanks for listening, Balin. Balin said some words I don't understand. I think they're in another language.
Buenos dias, amigos. He's saying hello to you.
I know. Hi, guys. I was joking.
Have a blessed day, gentlemen. Go IU, higher right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think the right hire is probably Randy Whitman.
I hope you're kidding.
I don't know. I don't know Whit well enough how's coaching style.
He probably would be better than Mike Woodson, but we need to shoot much higher than that.
You're not gonna hear me bitch about Mike Woodson.
I know.
It didn't work for him. It didn't
we'll save
go
that
well.
for after the Purdue game on Sunday.
It did not go well, but we'll talk about the IU Purdue game at the end of the show.
We will.
It did not go well. I said we'll talk about it at the end of the show.
Oh, you're going to tell me what to do now.
That's exactly right. I am.
All right. I cut you off at 8.
I'm Al Haig. I'm in charge here.
Al Haig was a scumbag.
Is there anybody in your life that's not a scumbag besides your wife?
I tend to hate everybody just because
I could take that. So in the end, Chris Beard, he fits in coaching wise. He's got a great track record, taking his team to the tournament. Dan's gone to schools that were struggling when he came in, turned them into winning programs, has a good winning record, almost a 70% clip of winning games. Seems to me he would be a good fit of what we want coaching-wise. And I think one of the big problems we're going to have is finding somebody who wants to come and take on the freaking challenge of trying to restill culture and winning attitude basketball to Indiana. I mean, it's a big hole that we got to climb out of to put Indiana back on the respectability map. Does Beard even want to mess with that? He's got it pretty good. He's making $5 million a year at Ole Miss plus ancillary money, I'm sure. He's doing okay. He's got Ole Miss winning. He's 38-19 in 2 seasons there. What's their record this year?
Pretty good.
Ole Miss so far is 19-7 or 26 and what is it? 19-7 so far. After coming off of 20-12 years, first 2 years there, in the SEC, which is a tough basketball league to play in. So I'm on vacation in Belize. Oh, shut up, Balin. Nobody wants to hear that you're in Belize, laying on a beach, drinking pina colada. Yesterday, did you have margaritas? Because it was National Margarita Day, Balin. I hope you sucked down a bunch of margaritas.
Oh, why do you anger, Steve?
Because I wasn't there with him.
I know. He's straight.
I'm just in beautiful LA where it was 82 degrees.
He's straight, though, Steve, so you wouldn't have been interested in going with him.
We're going to get a bullet train out here for another $100 billion.
All right. Do you want to do an Indiana Purdue preview tomorrow?
Are we done? What's our final say on Beard?
I thought you just said I would not hire him.
Okay. I mean.
No, you said that.
If he would be and I don't even know desperation, I want to mess with him. The baggage is there. We don't need it.
All right. Also, I think you got a female president university. That probably.
Well, yeah, we didn't even go down that route.
Yeah, no reason to.
So we do not get a gold star recommendation from you or I for Chris Beard.
No, I mean no. I would much rather have Dusty May.
Who doesn't want Dusty May? Good luck trying to get Dusty May.
10 guys I would rather have.
Michigan is not going to lay down and say, "Oh, he's an Indiana alumni. Let's let him go back to IU." Not the fact that we got to play against him 3 times a year. Now as coach, let's just let him go.
Yeah. Well, all right. Monday. You want to go Sunday or Monday? Do you have NASCAR on Sunday?
Football this year. That ain't going to sit well with them either.
Do you have NASCAR on Sunday, Steve?
I always have NASCAR on Sunday.
Oh. So you want to do Ben McCollum and Chris Collins both on Monday?
Yeah.
Because Chris Collins, I think, is probably completely ungettable, but we'll talk about Chris Collins a little bit.
Collins is worth broadcast football on Monday nights or Sunday nights.
That's Chris Collinsworth, Steve.
With Mike Tirico?
No, that's Chris Collinsworth, Steve.
Oh, this is Chris Collins.
Yeah. But all right, guys.
Is Doug Collins' son?
Yes, it is, Steve.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Is this the Collins at Northwestern?
Yes, it is, Steve.
Oh, we're going to get the Northwestern coach now.
It is always possible.
What about Matt Painter?
Matt Painter's got a job.
I do not want Matt Painter cannot win tournament basketball. I don't want Matt Painter.
I know he can't. I mean, those 6
He
games
can't.
he
He
won
can't win tournament
last year.
basketball.
He won what, 5 or 6 games last year? And he lost to one of the greatest college basketball teams to ever live. Most years, Purdue would have won it all last year. That's true, though, Steve.
They didn't.
That UConn team was pretty damn good.
They didn't win it all.
Yeah. How many
champions
teams
find a way?
Really? Then why would you want any of the guys we're talking about? Because none of them won a national championship.
None of them been in the position to win a national championship yet.
Yeah, they
Painter's
have.
been there. Painter's had the teams that should have won championships.
Hold on, Steve. I don't think he has. I don't think there was a year where he had the best team in the country.
Purdue wasn't it 2 years ago? They were ranked number 1 in the country most of the year.
They were, but UConn was better.
Okay, all right.
We got.
I love the way you argue. You argue to suit your desires.
Robert,
and needs.
will you shut up a second? Because we're trying to talk here. Robert said, replying to Jeff Gregory and our football coach sake. All right. Braylon Gardner says, had a margarita with my dinner last night with some fresh grouper. Hopefully he's not saying groper where he's groping people, but have a good weekend, y'all.
I'm having grilled salmon tonight, Balin. Salad and grilled salmon.
I'm having red snapper tomorrow.
Are you having red snapper?
Yes.
Fish, guys. I like it.
I don't like fish,
I'm not
but
I love Matt
does.
Painter. I know Matt Painter. I mean, I don't know him. We don't go to Christmas dinner at each other's house. But if I walked into a room, Matt and I would go over and talk to each other. He's a good man, a great guy. He's an IU fan. He grew up in the Bloomington area, I believe, and wanted to coach IU. But
Michael wants IU versus Purdue prediction.
Matt's the dean of college coaches in the Big Ten. He's been there the longest of anybody. I think he's great where he's at and would be fooled to leave Purdue. He's got a good thing going there. He's going to retire coaching there. He's going to get himself in the Hall of Fame, and deservedly so. I don't think the transition from Purdue to IU would be a good one for anybody.
All right, Michael Houghton wants to know your IU Purdue prediction, Steve.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet, Michael.
We haven't. Do you want to do a show tomorrow about it?
No, I'll do it right now.
Well, that's why I'm freaking asking you, and you haven't said it.
Okay, we're 27 minutes into this thing, all right?
Yeah, we're trying to wrap it up by 30. We got.
All right. I think given the situation of both programs, Purdue's in desperation to save any kind of high ranking and seeding they can get right now. They're on a little bit of a late season downward spiral. I think they're a better team than they've played lately. I think that their guard play is strong, especially against Indiana. We're weak on the perimeter defense. What's his name? Who's their
Braden Smith? That's your lawyer.
Kaufman Wren ate us alive last time. There's nothing to say he's not going to do it again. He's averaging 20 points a game, 61% field goal percentage. We don't play good perimeter defense. I don't know why we would think we would start playing good perimeter defense with 5 games left to go in the season. Ballo looks like he's in another world or looking at another team right now. I don't see Indiana playing well. It was a question of character as to how they would handle Mike's resignation. I would have hoped Indiana would have stepped up more and played harder for Mike the last 5 games. I think they've had spurts, but they still cannot consistently put 35 to 40 minutes together. Last game we played, what are you looking up in the sky? You tired of me talking?
You're still talking? Go ahead. I thought he just wanted a prediction. I didn't know we were going to break the whole damn thing down.
Oh, I thought we wanted to break the game down. Okay.
I didn't.
I say Purdue wins by 5.
I say Indiana wins by 18. And the simple fact is this. You could not give a coach like Mike Woodson 9 days to prepare and expect to be able to beat him.
What? Run that by me again?
I said you can't expect Mike Woodson to have 8 or 9 days to prepare for a game and not win it, Steve. If we'd had 8 or if we had
smoking with your salmon.
If we'd had 8 or 9 games between 8 or 9 days between each game, I think we would probably be undefeated. It's just because I think they on purpose push the games closer together now just to screw with Woody. Robert Stewart says, it's Purdue. If we can't step up for PU, well, also Purdue has not played well as of late either. I mean, they got their doors blown off by Michigan State. They lost to Michigan, so they're on a 2-game losing streak. Indiana's got 8 days off. The Hoosiers should put up a fight, but my guess is coaching will matter in the last minute. And I'm just hoping I could get like Purdue, I'm hoping to get Indiana like +7 or 8. Because I think they'll be able to keep it close, but they're going to lose probably. And if they don't, if they win, what the hell does it matter?
You're talking about your ass trying to influence Vegas.
No, I'm just saying. I think that they could probably keep it close.
I think I'm hoping you're right, but I don't bet. First off, I don't gamble.
It's just because you can't figure out how to do it.
Some of your people don't like me to say that.
Nobody gives a shit.
I'm not a gambler, but if I was going to bet, I'd bet on Purdue by 5. I'd take that bet.
All right, guys. And we will be back. You probably don't want to do anything tomorrow, do you? Don't they have like time trials at the Tonka trucks or something?
What do you want to do tomorrow?
Oh, we could go noon tomorrow, Ben McCollum, or we could wait till Monday. It's up to you.
Let's do it Monday.
You sissy. All right, guys. Follow Steve Risley at SISSY34 on X.
What?
I said follow Steve Risley at SRisley34 on X. You can follow me on X at Grilling Truth.
I'm never on X. Don't follow me on X.
You should be. You can like, subscribe. Hold on. Brian's got to make a comment. I was trying to wrap the show up, right? I see the outcome Sunday will likely determine the fate of the rest of the season.
Brian, the fate of the rest of the season is kind of already determined.
We're going to be chilling at the NIT, and it'll be a lot of fun as like a team like Gardner-Webb beats us half to death or High Point. But, all right.
Is there any chance for us still to make the tournament? I mean, if we win out,
Steve,
what do we have to do in the
Well,
tournament?
I think if 4 unicorns land in your pool tonight to play with your Australian Shepherds, then I think that means we're in.
Well, I don't think we got foxes out around here and coyotes, but no unicorns.
All right, Robert, you have a great weekend also. Thanks for listening. But we will be back Monday. We'll talk Ben McCollum at 1 o'clock, Steve.
Ben McCollum at 1 o'clock. Is that all? Right. Who's the other coach we're talking about?
Oh, Chris Collins. Ben McCollum and Chris Collins, because Chris Collins won't take it. Even though he should be the coach. We'll explain that then. But we will see you guys Monday. Make sure you are there for us at 1 o'clock. What time is the Purdue game on Sunday, Steve? Is it like a 2 o'clock
10:30 my time, so it'd be what, 2:30 your time?
1:30. Oh, look, Michael's bragging. Have a great time from sunny Florida.
Shut up, Michael.
Looks like, hey, Michael, if you
fly.
What
I'm talking about? It's going to be 85 here today.
Michael, if you fly me and Steve down there, we'll do the show from your abode.
I just got to avoid the fires.
Well, that'll keep you from getting set on fire if you made it to Florida. The show's deteriorated.
So we're a no-go on Chris Beard.
Well, we'll see. It's really not up to us. But if it was up to us, we wouldn't have had Mike Woodson. Unfortunately, I probably would have.
Up to you. I was a fan of Mike Woodson's at the time.
I know, and see what you got.
I'm still a fan of Mike Woodson's. I just think the coaching experiment did not work out.
All right. We're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap the show up. Check us out at thegruelingtruth.com. Check us out on Facebook. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification on YouTube. But for now, for Steve Risley, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.